Welcome everyone. So today we'll be covering accessing the RTD mobile ticketing app, which is RTD's phone application that you can use in place of a paper ticket when you board the bus. Before we get going, just a couple housekeeping notes about Zoom. There are a couple different ways that you can join a Zoom meeting. You can open a Zoom meeting in your web browser by clicking on Open Meetings. You can open the meeting in Zoom if you have the app downloaded. If you click on that Launch Meeting button, it will pull it up in the app, either on your computer or your phone, whichever device you're using. And you can also call into a meeting if you were to lose internet, or you don't have a camera, or whatever the case is. You can always call into a meeting. There is a call-in number provided on the invite for today's meeting. So if there are any technical difficulties, you need to get back in, that's always an option as well. There's that join browser button that I mentioned right there. And that's what that call-in number looks like. And you would just press it and it would call right into the meeting, and you would be right back in. So on Zoom, there is an option to have your camera on. It does help with communication, but it's not required. So you can turn it on and off by clicking on that camera button. You also have your mute button right here, that little microphone. We always recommend just keeping it muted. If you're not speaking, just sometimes we can get some echoes going on if you're unmuted. Next, there's the chat function. So if you have any questions throughout, don't hesitate, drop them in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on that and we can respond there. You can also see who is in the meeting by clicking on the participants, and then the other ones. There is a record option. I am recording today's session, but that's an option as well as reactions. So this is the presentation where you want to send like clapping hands or a smiley face. You can do that from there as well. There we go, clapping hands. So we'll just start off with introductions, just your name, the city you live in, and if you have used RTD mobile ticketing. That's a typo on my part there. Let me stop sharing. So I'm Aiden. I live in Erie, and I've used RTD mobile ticketing maybe once. I'm fortunate that school gives me a bus pass, so I tend to use that. But I have used RTD mobile ticketing a couple of times. Next, we'll have Leonard introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Leonard. I'm a volunteer technology ambassador for this program, and I've used mobile ticketing a couple of times.
Next, we have Angel.
Hi, I'm Angel. I use the RTD mobile ticketing app for my kids because I do have an eco-pass with my job with Boulder County. But when my kids are traveling with me on the bus, I can purchase both of their passes on it. So that's when I use it.
Perfect. And next we have Lisa.
Hi, I'm from Lafayette. I'm one of the technology ambassadors, and I think I've used it once. Well, wait a minute, we're doing Lyft, right?
RTD.
RTD.
Oops.
RTD that I've used once.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I'm going to reshare my screen with you all. Alrighty. Oh. There we go. So myself, Anna, and Angel are all from Mobility for All. We're part of Boulder County, and our mission is to promote equitable, affordable, and accessible transportation options for limited mobility individuals throughout the county. And so we believe that having access to transportation is key to being a thriving person, and we help people have those transportation options be available and know how to access them. And oftentimes that means learning how to use different types of transportation for different trips. And we can help you out with all of those. So today it's RTD, but we can also help you out with any other kind of transportation needs you would have throughout the county as well. We do want to acknowledge up front that we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has certainly changed how we travel. I know, for one, I haven't taken the bus really at all since the start of the pandemic, as an example. It's also exposed a lot of inequities throughout our society. However, there has been, with the buses and stuff like that, there has also been a response by RTD to increase cleaning and disinfecting things. So if you do need to take the bus, everyone involved is doing everything they can um, to make sure that you are safe. And even some transit agencies and organizations have transitioned some of their work to delivery. So where before you may have taken the bus to the grocery, they may now be bringing those groceries to you on the bus. So everyone is trying to adapt and make it all work, but we do just want to acknowledge that we are holding these classes in a time where our travel patterns are really up in the air. So this is one of 4 different workshops that we hold. We also do one on using Lyft, using Uber, and then accessing RTD, which we'll be covering today. So the goals for today are to increase your confidence using the RTD mobile ticketing app, connect you with the ambassadors, receive transportation supports, as well as receive 10 RTD mobile tickets. So we are joined today by 2 different ambassadors, both Lisa and Leonard. I'll have both of them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about what their role is with Mobility for All, how they can help you out, and what that looks like both now, but also pre-COVID-19 when we were all traveling more. So Lisa or Leonard, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Well, my name is Lisa, and I think that isolation is one of our biggest enemies. And so with Mobility for All, my goal is to help other people get out and enjoy things, be able to go to what they enjoy. And I'd be happy to help plan a trip or also go on a ride along once things are settled down.
Thanks, Lisa.
My name's Leonard. I'm a technology ambassador. I've traveled a lot on RTD and other alternative modes. And I've always been a technology geek, so I really enjoy learning how to use applications and teach other people how to do them. And I enjoy volunteering and helping other people where there are needs. And these are really valuable applications. And I think this is a good place to help people satisfy those needs for mobility.
Perfect. Well, thank you both, and thank you both for joining us today. The ambassadors are really wonderful resources. They're great peer mentors. And in non-COVID times, if you're traveling, they even sometimes can travel along with you. So they're really wonderful resources. If you have any questions, they will more than likely know the answers or have experienced a very similar thing with one of these applications. So we do want to note, depending on what phone you own, apps may look slightly different from one phone to the other. What it looks like in an iPhone may be ever so slightly different than what it looks like on an Android phone. However, the basic functionality of the apps remains the same. But just something to note, if you do see something in this presentation like, wait, mine's in the bottom left instead of the bottom right, it's most likely because you are using an iPhone and I'm demonstrating with an Android or vice versa. Also, we want to acknowledge that apps aren't perfect. Your own judgment is always best. Apps don't necessarily know the safest place to cross the street or the safest street to walk down, things like that. So do use your own discretion, regardless of whether the app is telling you to cross the street there or not. Also, it's always a good idea to keep an emergency contact number with you, just in case your phone dies while you're out and about, then you can always reach out to that person, not just be relying on your phone, which if the battery is dead, won't do you any good. So just a little tip there to bring with you. So on a privacy note, RTD does collect some user data. They collect tickets purchased, time and date of activation, and some device information. More information can be found at www.rtd-denver.com, where you can read through their full privacy policy, but we do just want to acknowledge that they do collect some user data. So as we mentioned, we are all in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. As such, things when you're on the bus have changed a little bit. So here's RTD's recommendations and guidelines for all riders. So all riders must wear a mask while on the bus, which we're now getting very used to, but you do have to wear one on the bus. They do recommend that you arrive at the station no more than 10 minutes prior, just to limit your exposure to people. So if you're used to show up much earlier than that, just keep that in mind. They are recommending arriving much closer to the departure time of your bus. Maintain 6 feet of separation while waiting for the bus, and then sanitize and wash your hands as soon as you reach your destination. Or I always try to carry one of those little bottles of hand sanitizer with me when I'm traveling, so you have that. But just keep that in mind while you're out traveling. So for today's class, we have 3 different materials. There's the handouts, there will be the presentation, which I'm giving right now, and those slides, as well as the transportation planning worksheet. So we'll cover what that transportation planning worksheet has right now. So on the front of the trip planner, you will see this page. This covers just a little bit about the different apps that we cover throughout our workshop series, as well as additional transportation resources for our area. So while these apps are wonderful and do cover a pretty broad spectrum of what is available, they're by no means comprehensive. So we do also include the phone number for the RTD trip planner and next ride system. I will be covering how to do that in the application as well, but you can always call that number, and the person at RTD can help make a trip plan for you or help let you know when the next bus is going to arrive. RTD Accessoride number is included there. Via Mobility Services, Z-Trip, which is a taxi cab service for the area. GoGo Grandparent, which is you call that number and they can set up an Uber or Lyft ride for you if you don't have a smartphone. The Area Agency on Aging resource line, they can be a really valuable resource in helping you get connected. Faith in Action volunteer drivers, very good for reaching medical appointments and things like that. However, I do want to note that right now during COVID, I do not believe they are doing any volunteer driver trips. So definitely keep them in mind for the long term, but right now they may not be able to help you with that. And then last, Medicaid and Teleride, formerly VO, included their number as well as a space to write down that emergency contact numbers. You can just fold this up, put it in your bag. You'll have all those contacts as well as your emergency contact. On the other side of the worksheet, you'll see this grid, and this is the planning worksheet. So you have your date and time, starting address, where you're going, how you're going to get there, and then the cost and notes. So this just gives you an opportunity to kind of compare the costs across different platforms, whether that be taking RTD versus taking Uber or taking Lyft, and kind of lay out what that would look like. I don't know if Lisa or Leonard, if you would have an example of a place that you would go regularly that you might use this worksheet to help you figure out what would be your best option.
I would use it to go from my home to the Longmont Public Library, which is not very far from the Bolt line, and I go there frequently.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be a great time to use this. You can look at what the different options are, kind of analyze those costs and the time that it would take, and figure out what the best way to reach it is. So that's the planning worksheet, a great tool, especially for when you're just being introduced or first starting to use these apps and you're really figuring it out. So what is RTD mobile ticketing? So it's a smartphone-based payment method, and it also supports trip planning in the browser. So it's in place of a paper ticket for the bus. It's just your ticket on your phone and allows you to take RTD wherever you need to. So first things first, you're going to want to download the application. So either go to the App Store if you're an iPhone user, that little blue A, or to the Google Play Store, that kind of rainbow play symbol, if you're an Android user. From there, you'll just type in RTD mobile ticketing. It will be that red square with the white RTD lettering. You'll click on Get or Download, depending on which phone you're using, and that will download it to your device. From there, Once you open it up, you're going to want to set up an account or log in if you already have one. So you can see on that screen there, it'll be the third option down. It will say account. So you're going to click on that. Now here it gives you two different options. So if you already have an RTD account, you'll just click on login. You can enter your password and email, and you'll be good to go. If you are a new user, you're going to want to click on new account. You'll put in your email and then your password, and you confirm the password, say create new account. Something to note, when you log in to RTD's app, into the mobile ticketing app, it logs you out, I think, every like 6 weeks. So this is definitely one I would write down your password for. I don't think I've ever successfully remembered mine, so I should really write mine down, but it will make you log in again. So definitely worth keeping that password somewhere where you'll know where it is. Once you set up that account, RTD will send a verification email to the email account that you used to set up your mobile ticketing account. And so go to that inbox, look for an email from RTD. It'll say your RTD account verification. You have to click on that verify your account. This is an important step because we can't issue you tickets unless your account has been verified. When we go to issue tickets, if you're not verified, RTD can't find you in the ticketing system. So once you set it up for the first time, make sure to go look in your email right away for this RTD verification account. That's the final step in setup that you need to do. So just click on that verify your account button and you should be good to go. Next, you could set up payment in your account. You just do it from right here. You don't have to do it right away. You can always come back and do it later, but there's what that screen would look like. Once you had set up your payment information, you could now buy a ticket. So that's your top option in the application. Click on buy tickets. And this will take you to this window. You'll first see the different levels of tickets they offer. So full fare, discount, youth discount, or live discount. And you'd select the one that you want to purchase. From there, it will take you to this screen you see on your right. And it shows all of the different ticketing options that RTD has. So this person will be doing a full fare ticket. There's local 3-hour passes, regional 3-hour passes, local day passes, airport, monthly passes. It shows all those different options that you can purchase in the app. You could also buy multiple tickets at a time by clicking where it says multiple. So you don't just have to buy them one at a time. Do note if you're buying multiple tickets that you're going to be using, they do expire after 45 days. So only buy what you need because you'd hate to buy one and then have it expire on you. So they're not going to stay in your account for forever, but they will be there for 45 days. I'm going to hand it over to Angel here to talk a little bit more about RTD discounts, the different discounts that they offer.
Great, thank you, Aiden. So RTD offers 4 different types of discounts. For people who are between the ages of 6 and 19, they receive a youth discount, and that's 70% off. Kids under 5 years old, 5 and under, they actually ride for free with a paying adult. People who are over 65 years old, they get a 50% discount. And to receive that discount, you can either 1, get a special discount card, or 2, just show your driver's license or your state ID to get that discount. Individuals with disabilities, they receive a 50% discount. But one thing to keep in mind is that you have to apply for a special discount card. It's commonly referred to as a red card or a pink card. And you have to go to an application online that you can email to RTD, or you can mail it to them or drop it off at the Blake office. And then after you receive that card, you will receive a 50% discount. For individuals who are income verified at 185% of federal poverty, they will receive a 40% discount, but you do have to enroll in that LIVE program, is what it's called, through the Peak Colorado system. So that's the same system that people with SNAP, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or Colorado Works or Medicaid. It's the same system that you use to apply for those. You can apply for the RTD Live program through that Peak portal to get a yellow card to be able to get that 40% discount. I do want to keep in mind that individuals with disabilities, if your disability prohibits you from using the fixed route bus, the fixed route RTD bus, you can qualify for what's called Access-a-Ride, and it's a complimentary paratransit service. If you have limitations, either mobility limitations that prohibit you from going to the bus route, or cognitive limitations that prohibit you from taking fixed route, you can go to Lakewood and get certified for the RTD Access-a-Ride, and you get a card at the end of that. Just keep in mind that if you do have Access-a-Ride, which means that you cannot use fixed route in some situations, that Access-a-Ride card will get you free transit on the fixed route bus if there are some trips that you can use the fixed route bus for. So I know that that's pretty complicated, but if you need any assistance understanding the fare structure, just reach out to Mobility for All, and we'll have our email at the end of this slide, and we'll be able to walk you through what your options are. Thank you, Aiden.
Perfect. Thank you, Angel. So once you've decided what ticket you want to purchase, you'll simply click on it, and it will give you this little disclaimer. So no refunds or exchanges. Unused passes will expire after 45 days of purchase. So just reminding you of those things again. You'll click accept and continue. Now it takes you to the payment window. So this person is purchasing one 3-hour pass, and it's $3, and their total comes to an even $3. So there's the total. And they hadn't added a card to the application yet. So they're going to click on this Pay with New Card button to add their card information. From there, it will pull up this little payment window. So you'll put in the name on the card, your card number, expiration date, zip code, and that 3-digit code that's next to the signing bar on the back of your card. You'll put that in as well. And then you can click Save Card. And this will save your payment information in the app, so you won't need to enter it next time you're purchasing an RTD mobile ticket. Once you've done that, it will purchase the ticket, and that ticket will show up right here in what's called your ticket wallet. And when you click on the ticket wallet, you'll be able to see all of the tickets that you have. And these ones have not been activated yet. They still say inactive up in that corner. And you could also see all of the past tickets you've purchased if you clicked on that history button as well. So all the tickets you purchased will show up in your ticket wallet right there. Once you're ready to go on the bus, you will go to your ticket wallet, you will click on one of those tickets, and then in order to make it work to get on the bus, you have to click on Activate Ticket. Once it is activated, that timer for the ticket has started. So if it's a 3-hour pass, it's 3 hours from the time of activation. So we always recommend that you activate it as late as possible. If possible, I would activate it in the line for the bus so that you're getting that full 3 hours, and maybe you can get to the store and home on the same ticket. Whereas if you had activated it earlier on in the day, it may expire and you may have to purchase a second ticket. So do keep that in mind, that activating the ticket does start that timer for that individual ticket. So when you go to activate it, it's going to ask you right here, activate your pass prior to boarding the bus. Activate your pass prior to boarding the bus or train. Once a ticket is activated, it cannot be undone. Active passes expire at 2:59. So this is for a day pass. So theirs expires at 2:59 tomorrow morning. Present an activated pass to the operator and fare inspector. So once you're activated, it'll show up just like this. You'll pull down on that arrow with your finger, which will reveal a barcode that you will show to the driver. It looks just like this. you'll show that to the driver. Something to note, it does look like you should scan that RTD, that barcode when you get on the bus, or if you've ever used a mobile ticket for an airplane, like a mobile boarding pass, you scan them. It does look the same. It looks like you should scan it. There is nowhere to scan it on an RTD bus. You just show it to the driver. So don't be confused if you don't see somewhere to scan that barcode. You just show the driver when you get on. Once tickets are activated, they kind of show up in this little space between ticket wallet and account. So that's where all of your active tickets show up, and it shows you how much time you have remaining on your ticket. So this person is 17 hours and 52 minutes. So if they were to get on the bus right now, they could just click on that ticket floating right there, and it would pull it up again. They could show it to the driver, and they would be good to go. So now I am going to show you a brief demonstration of the app. Let me stop this share and get in on my other device so I can share with you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Alrighty. So I have my RTD mobile ticketing app in this folder labeled Transit right here in the middle. So we'll click on that. And then I'm going to click on RTD tickets. There it is. And that will pull up the app. So once it's up in here, you'll see those different options we discussed. So at the top, you have buy tickets. Then you have your ticket wallet. Then you have that kind of no man's area that where your most recent pass will appear by an activated ticket. Then you have account information, trip planner, and next ride, and we'll cover those later. Additionally, up here in the top right corner, you click on those three little stacked lines. There are some more options. We do have help. So if you had a question about the app, there may be an answer in there for you. There's some information on fares and passes, a little bit on schedules, rider alerts about changes to the buses, as well as a rail map, and then your saved payment methods. So those are in the app as well. But we're going to want to pretend like we're buying a ticket. So I'm going to click on Buy Tickets. And that takes me to this window where it's showing the different types of tickets available. So we have full fare, discount, which would be the 65 plus one, youth discount, or the live discount. For me, I would be a full fare passenger. So that's the one I'm going to click on. From here, you can see all the different tickets that they offer. So a local 3-hour pass, regional 3-hour pass, local day pass, regional or airport day pass. Then we get into monthly passes. So they show you all the different ones that they offer. It's bottom one for reaching Broncos games and that kind of stuff. So those are all of your ticket options, and these are for single tickets. If I want to see how I can purchase multiple tickets at a time, I'd click on multiple. And from here, if I were to buy local 3-hour passes, I would just click on that little plus as many times as I want. So I want to buy 5, do that. Want 4, I just click on the minus. So you can enter the number of tickets you want. We'll just pretend I'm buying 1 ticket. So I'll go back to single, click on 3-hour pass. Local 3-hour pass, no refunds or exchange. Unused passes will expire after 45 days. By accepting the purchase, you agree to accept RTD's ticketing and terms, conditions, privacy policy on the RTD website, etc. So I would click on accept and continue. Oops, that was on my Zoom button. Now it's loading, but now it would take me to that payment window. So full fare local 3-hour pass, I'm buying 1 for $3. I can see what it costs. I don't have a payment card or a payment. I haven't entered a payment method in the app on this device, so I can't actually purchase it at this moment. But if I were to add a card, I could then click purchase. And once I did that, it would appear right here in my ticket wallet. My ticket wallet is currently empty. but it would show up right here. You could also view past tickets, but I haven't bought any on this device, so you're not going to see them there. But your ticket would show up there, and then you could activate it. From here, you click on Activate, and it would show up in that in-between space between ticket wallet and account. You'd be good to go. Once you get on the bus, you show that to the driver, and you're good to ride the bus. So that's the basic app. There are two other things that the app has that are covered a little more in the presentation, but I will demonstrate right now as well. We have the trip planner. So RTD does have a trip planning function on their website. So through the browser, not through the app. But if I click on trip planner, it'll open it up in my browser. So you will need internet to do this. But from here, we have a little bit COVID-19 service plan. So they are letting you know that things are changing. I'm going to click on the X to get rid of that. So first, we're going to want to choose our start location. So you can either choose on the map, you click choose on the map, use current location, or enter a start. So we'll enter a start. Let's go from the Boulder Public Library, main library on Arapahoe. Let's do that, and let's go to Foothills Community Hospital. It's a local route. Foothills. Oh, my keyboard isn't responding. Give me just a second. Sorry, the little zoom button is in the way. Maybe it's not the hospital. Foothills. There we go. Foothills Hospital. Also on Arapahoe. Click on that. So down here, this would be if we were leaving right now. So showing the best trip, travel, walking plus transit, leaving at 2:45. We could click on edit. And now it'll give us a couple different options. So we have some options right off the bat. There's best trip, which means the fastest, fewest transfers, or least walking. We'll leave it on best trip for now. So click next. And then it gives a couple different options. So do we want to combine walking and transit, biking and transit, or are we going to a park and ride? We're going to do walking and transit. And now here we can do leave at or arrive by. We're going to do arrive by because we're heading to the doctor. So it would make more sense to set your time off of needing to be there at a certain time instead of needing to leave at a certain time. We'll click done. So now arrive by. Down here I can select my time. So I will say that I have an appointment at 10 a.m. on Friday. But if it's a 10 a.m. appointment, I probably want to be there 15 minutes early. So let's aim to be there at 9:45. Oops. 45 to give me enough time to fill out my paperwork. Say set and pick our date. I said for Friday. We'll say set. Now we click on plan your trip. So it gives me a couple different trip options. So our top one would be 23 minutes. We'd leave at 8:57 and it would put us there at 9:20. There's no transfers, it's all in the jump. The next one, same amount of time, but it's getting us there way earlier. So we'd leave at 8:27, we get there at 8:50. That's a lot of time to have before your appointment. So that one's probably not the best option. The third option here is taking much, much longer. So 43 minutes, taking the 208. Doesn't seem like a good option for us. Or the bottom one, also 23 minutes, taking the jump, but it gets us there at 8:20. So of all of those, that top one that gets us there at 9:20 seems to make the most sense. So we're going to click on that. So we have it selected now. So here it's showing us what that would look like. So from the library, we're going to walk for 11 minutes to the bus stop at Arapahoe and 16th Street. Get on it there. We can see all of the different stops it's going to pass. We click on Show All Stops, see all of those. Then we're going to walk to our destination. It can also show you turn by turn walking if you wanted. If you click on the View Turn by Turn directions, it will show us how to walk from the library to the bus stop, or from the bus stop to the doors of the hospital. So that is nice little extra detail. And then at the bottom here, you can see a map of what it would look like. I could click on this in the top corner to make it full screen. I can zoom in, see what that route's going to look like. See all of those. And I could change it for each trip if I wanted. I could click on trip 2, trip 3, and trip 4 to see those options at the top. But we like trip 1 the best. Then down here at the very bottom, I could do print this trip. And I think this is the best thing about this tool because it's based on your web browser. So you can use this exact same trip planning tool on your computer at home. You can print out this trip to take it with you, and then you don't need to worry about having internet or your phone battery being full. You would have all of the information with you. So the app does support this trip planning function, which is pretty great. It's a nice tool. And there's one more thing I'm going to show you about the app. So let me go back to it. The last thing it has is called Next Ride. I'll click on that. This is also through the web browser. Next Ride tells you when the next bus is going to reach your stop. So it's a pretty real-time tool to allow you to know if your bus is running behind schedule, or maybe you're at a bus stop you've never taken before and you want to know how long you're going to be standing in the cold. This is a great chance or a great way to be able to view that information. So there are a couple different ways that you can pull up a bus stop that you're at. You could enter the route if you knew what route it was along. So if you were taking the jump in Boulder and you knew you were at a jump stop, you could enter that. You could enter the streets at the 2 stops. You could enter an address, a landmark, or the preferred is on bus stop signs. There will be a stop number. They are a 5-digit number. You could also enter that. I have a 5-digit bus stop number written down here for a bus stop at Iris and Broadway right in front of the HHS building for Boulder County. So I'm going to enter that bus stop number. So it's 14596 596. And see, it pulls it up right there, Iris Ave and Broadway. I'm going to click on that. And like I mentioned, that number can be found on the bottom. It'll be at the bottom portion of the bus stop sign. So it pulled up my bus stop. It's showing me on the map there. There it is, Iris and Broadway, right by 13th Street. It is an eastbound bus stop. And it is telling me that if I was there right now, that I would have 35 minutes to wait for my next bus. It would get there at 3:30. There would be another one at 4:30, and there would be another one at 5:30. So it'll tell me that. If I want to refresh that information to keep it up to date, I click on refresh now. It would refresh it and it would tell me how long it's been. It hasn't been a minute, so it's still 35 minutes for us to wait. But this is a great tool If you're at a bus stop you've never taken before and you want to see what buses come to that stop, by putting that number into the next ride window, it will show you all the buses that come to that bus stop. It could be great on days like today where it's snowy and buses may be running a little bit behind schedule because of the weather. You can know how long you have to wait. So it's a really great tool that is linked directly in the RTD ticketing app. So that is all I have for you in the demonstration from the app. Are there any questions? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Reshare my other one. If anyone has a question, feel free to shout it out.
What was I gonna ask? They don't have a discount for 55?
No, it's 65 and up. Yeah, there's discount for youth, discount for individuals with disabilities, discount for 65 up, and then the one that fills the gap between 19 and 64 would be that live discount that Angel mentioned, but that one's income qualifying. So
Okay.
if you're within the income range for that one, you would receive a discount, but if you don't qualify income-wise, you're a full fare transit user.
Okay.
Let me get my thing to advance. So as I mentioned, there is that trip planner that we just covered. It is a great tool that's linked right in the app. And I think there are other trip planning tools, whether you're using Google Maps or you're using the transit app, we'll be covering in another one of our sessions, that are really wonderful tools. The one advantage that RTD's trip planning has is it's done through your computer's browser or through your phone's browser. So you can use the same trip planner at home on your computer. It doesn't just have to be done on your phone, which if you're worried about data usage or if there's going to be Wi-Fi or if your phone battery is going to make it the whole trip, it can be a great way to plan out your trip before you leave, print it out, take it with you. So it is a nice tool that they have linked in there. As I mentioned up top, for attending today's workshop, you do get those 10 RTD mobile tickets. In order to get them, you do have to create an RTD account, and you do have to make sure you verify it. You can't send any tickets out if the account hasn't been verified yet, because they can't be found in the RTD ticketing system. Just some administrative stuff. We do offer an office hour where we are here to help you with any things that come up with any of the applications that we teach. And I know people aren't really traveling right now because of COVID, but this could be down the line. If you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help people. We can set you up with an ambassador, or we can walk you through it ourselves. Either way, there will be a short survey to fill out, and that will provide us the information we need to issue you your mobile passes. So thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, we can always be reached at the Mobility for All at Boulder County email address, or by calling that number. Don't hesitate to ask. We're here to support you however you need, and we can always set you up with an ambassador, and they'll be able to walk you through any transit-related questions you may have. Any last questions?
I don't think so. I think the fare was really a question. The other thing is that you can access walking maps when you're in there, right?
It does show you the walking route you will be taking on the map. I can share that screen again and show you if you'd like.
Yeah.
Let me do that. Share my screen. Oh, it didn't show up.
Because I know, if you're ever taking buses and you suddenly get to a location and find out you've got to cross like a massive intersection.
Exactly. So I'll go back to that trip planner. Click on that. That'll take us right back to here. We'll do the same trip that we did before. So from the Boulder, oops, missed the L. From the Boulder Library.
Mm.
And we were going to Foothills. Hills Hospital.
I bet you could just put BCH in there.
And we'll just do like we're leaving right now, and we're doing walking plus transit. I'm going to say plan your trip. So we're going to do this top trip because it seems to make the most sense. So if we scroll down, here it shows us what the turn-by-turn walking directions would be. So walk west along parking aisle, turn left, walk east along Arapahoe Avenue, turn right, walk south along the sidewalk. So it gives us to them on both ends, these view turn by turn, where it gives you the written instructions. But then when you go down to the map here, let me make that bigger. Thank you. When you go down to the map here, I'm zooming in by just pinching my fingers together and pulling. All of these this little dotted line, that delineates walking, and then the solid line delineates the bus. So when you're looking at the map on their website, zoom back out. It's being a little slow when I'm zooming. Apologize for the stutter that's doing. You can see the walking route. So if we do go down to the hospital, the red dot here, we zoom in. It does look like we're going to have to cross the street, but it looks like it's having us cross at a light at, what's that, 8th, 18th? No, 48th, that's what it is. At 48th, it's having us cross with the light, and that's showing us going across the parking lot there. So it does show you those recommended walking instructions in the trip planning.
That's great. Thank you.
Of course. Let me stop sharing here. Any other questions?
No?
Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm going to stop the recording now.